Hi, this is Dale Guiducci, ERA Credit Services, and over the years I've done some blog posts and some videos on what it takes to get a credit repair business started. Things like surety bonds and merchant services, being able to pull credit for your client. So you can see some other videos that I've done about those types of things. That's not what I'm going to talk about today. What I'm going to talk about today are some other things that aren't quite as obvious, but just as important to get your credit repair business started. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back. So I'm going to talk to you today about some things that are less obvious if you're in the market, on the internet, researching how to start a credit repair business. These are the things that you're not going to read about necessarily, and certainly you're not going to see a YouTube video about. So that's why I'm bringing these things to you today. So this isn't in any order of importance. It's just things that you should be aware of. The first thing is you got to know a bit about credit repair law. That makes sense, doesn't it? And the part of the credit repair law that you need to know about is the probability that items can be removed through the credit repair process, through federal law, dependent upon certain factors. Dependent upon certain factors, because there are a lot of different factors that give weight to whether an item has a high probability of getting removed or a low probability of getting removed. Here's what I'm talking about. Let me give you an example. So let's talk about a charged off credit card account. Is that charged off credit card account, is that 2 months old? Or is that 6 years old? That's a big difference, isn't it? And of course, the older the account, the higher probability that item is going to get removed. So when you're talking to a client, if they tell you, hey, I've got this kind of account, this kind of account, this kind of account, you've got to ask questions beyond just that they've got a repossession as an example, or they have a foreclosure or a charged off credit card account, or they've got some medical bills. You've got to ask questions. How old are those accounts? Are they open or closed accounts? Who's the creditor? What type of an account is it, of course? Those things matter because you want to be able to give your client reasonable expectations that you're going to be able to get items removed through the credit repair process, because it's governed by federal law. And a lot of times, if you've got an item that really did happen, it really did happen within the last 7 years, the only time that item is going to come off is if the creditor, after you dispute it through the credit bureau, doesn't respond to the dispute, correct? So what's going to be the factors that make them less likely to respond to that dispute? The age of the account, all those kinds of things that I mentioned. So you want to know probabilities. Now, I teach my agents that come on board with our company, I teach them probabilities so that they can give their clients reasonable expectations, because you certainly don't want a client that signs up with you for credit repair to go, well, in 6 months, because I just signed up with this company and I'm paying them X dollars a month, I'm going to go from a 550 to a 750 credit score. You know that that's probably not going to be the case. Can you help them increase their score? Yes. So you want to give them reasonable expectations that they are going to get some of the items that they're telling you about removed through your service. Okay, here's something else. You want to understand the credit repair market. In other words, what's the general market out there of people that might be looking to get their credit fixed? Now, you might be thinking right now, depending on where you're at in your research and how much you know about the market, that everyone with a sub 600 credit score, let's say, would be a great candidate for you to get their credit fixed, to sign up for services with you. That's not true. See, I've got this saying that people can live with poor credit their entire life. The only time that they're going to be motivated to spend money to increase their credit score, in other words, sign up for services with you or some other company, is when they need to use their credit. When they need to use their credit to qualify for something like a home loan or a car loan or something else. When they need to use it and they don't have the credit score available to get those things that they want, then they're going to be motivated to pay you or pay somebody else a dollar amount per month to help them increase their credit score. So where would you find those people? That's the key question. Where can I find motivated people that want to get their credit fixed? Well, if you think about it, where can you find those people? Real estate agents. It's a great source, because think about if you've ever bought a home, like let's say you bought your first home, you and your significant other, a spouse, you got emotionally involved in that. You were thinking about, what is the kitchen going to look like? What do I need in the backyard? Do I need a tool bench out in the garage? Like, you think about what that first home needs to have for you in order for you to be happy with your purchase, right? You think about it, and then you save up money for a down payment, and then you meet a real estate agent. What it's the first thing they're going to do is they're going to say, let's see what you qualify for. How much of a home can you qualify for? They send you to the mortgage broker, and think about it. What if you didn't qualify? That would be a huge emotional letdown. You're going to be emotionally invested in the fact that you cannot qualify. Well, if that's the case, you want to talk to people like that, because they're going to be motivated, because they're emotionally invested in the fact that they couldn't qualify, and they spend all this time dreaming about that home, all this time saving down payment money, and now they can't get what they want. That is a motivated client. Where can you find those people? Real estate agents, mortgage brokers. Another great industry is solar companies. Same thing. People want to put solar on their roof, and they actually have to have a higher credit score to qualify for the solar financing than they do the mortgage financing. So a lot of those people don't qualify as well. So you want to reach out to referrals. So you want to know your market. Another way you could go, of course, is you can do online advertising. You could do social media. But those people aren't necessarily motivated. What I like about our business is I can go out and develop relationships with, say, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, solar companies, bankers, to a lesser degree, automobile dealerships. And I can get motivated clients coming to me with a referral and some credibility based on that referral, because that person's going to tell them how wonderful I am and how good I am at helping them increase their credit score. That's a lot easier sale to make. Pay close attention to that one. Here's another one that a lot of people don't pay attention to. When I got started, I did a lot of homework in this area because I wanted to know my competition. I wanted to know every single credit repair company that was operating in my city, and I wanted to know the big national companies as well, not only who they were, but what kind of service did they provide and what did they price their service at. So I got on the phone and I called, I don't know, a dozen companies in my local area and just pretended that I was looking for the service. And I said, listen, you provide credit repair service? Tell me about your service. And of course, they're more than happy to share what they do specifically. In other words, did they pull credit, or am I expected to pull my own credit as a customer and furnish them with a login or furnish them with the credit report? Did they dispute all items right away, or did they dispute one or two items every 60 days? I wanted to know those kinds of things. And then, of course, I also wanted to know what they charge. So a big tip here is to go on the internet, Google credit repair your city, and find out a list of those companies. Not every single one, but certainly the ones that look like they're doing the most amount of business, and get on the phone and make a list of what they provide and what they charge. And that way you have a better idea of what you need to provide and what you need to charge in order to compete with those companies, as well as the big national companies such as a Lexington Law, a Pyramid Credit, a CreditRepair.com, a Sky Blue Credit, and more. And again, you can find those companies on the internet as well. This is another big one. What makes you different? What makes you different? Are you simply going to do credit repair? In other words, the removal of derogatory items? Let's say you said yes. You were watching this video and the first thought in your mind said, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And that's all I'm going to do. Well, then what makes you different than any other company out there? There's got to be differentiators. There's got to be a reason that someone's going to do business with you other than other companies out there. And of course, you might go, well, people are going to do business with me because they know me. In other words, you're going to rely on referrals from people that you know, and that's great, but you can't rely on that for the rest of your business. You've got to have some differences. You've got to have reasons why a real estate agent would refer somebody to you, or a mortgage broker. Reasons why someone's going to see an advertisement or a Facebook post or a blog post or whatever it is you're going to do to market your business, and they're going to go, yep, that company's different than all these other companies out there. It sounds really interesting. I'm going to give them a call. And then, of course, you've got to be good on the phone or in person, however you're going to communicate with your client, to be able to verbalize and explain why you're different. I call them differentiators. You got to be different. You can't be just like every other credit repair company out there, which does what? Removes derogatory items. There's got to be some other things that you have, like we have, like my company. We provide a lot of other services for people. So it's not just credit repair, although credit repair is a great service. Don't get me wrong. It's the #1 thing that we do, but we give them ancillary services to make us different, to make us a stronger company for them to spend their money with in order to get their credit score as high as they want to. So give consideration to that. So I already talked a little bit about where you're going to get your clients. And of course, I'm a big fan, and I teach my new agents when they first get into the business, certainly, to go out and develop relationships with real estate agents, mortgage brokers, solar companies. Those are my big 3 favorites. But yeah, you can do car dealerships as well. You can do banks. You can work with tax preparers. There's a lot of different things that you can do. But you've got to go out there and generate the business. I did a lot of business networking. I went to Board of Realtors meetings. I got into places where I would find real estate agents, mortgage brokers, and solar companies, right? And I started to develop relationships. Now, a lot of people, when they get started in credit repair, they want to do it all online. Okay, let me clue you in. First of all, unless you're going to run Google ads or Facebook ads or Instagram ads, it's going to take a while for you to be able to populate your message on the front page of Google organically, right? So it's going to take time. Now, let's say you are going to run ads on Instagram or Facebook, right? Well, first of all, if you use the term credit repair, or you talk about credit, likely that Facebook, I'm not so sure about Instagram, but Facebook is going to deny your ad. They're going to nix your ad. You aren't going to be able to run it. So how are you going to get ads done on Facebook? And then the other thing that you got to consider is that you don't have any credibility. You don't have any trust with people if you're running ads on social media. So how are you going to gain that trust and credibility? You got to get them on the phone. You got to get them on the phone. Believe me, trust me, I've done it. I've run Facebook ads, and when you run an ad, they're going to comment in the ad. They're going to say, well, how much does it cost, and how long does it take, and can you get this certain type of item off? And geez, my cousin Johnny, he did credit repair with so-and-so company, and they didn't do anything for him. What makes you different? And you're going to spend a lot of your time on your phone or on your desktop responding to all these comments. Is that the kind of business that you want? Or would you rather a client that you have their information because you got it from the real estate agent, as an example? They already know about you. They've already it's been edified to them about you. In other words, that real estate agent said, oh my gosh, you got to work with so-and-so. They can really help you. Would that be a better client for you? And the answer is, of course. So here's my advice. If you want to do business online, that's fine. I do. But I didn't start that way. How I started my credit repair business is I went out into the community, as I've said before, and I've met real estate agents, mortgage brokers, solar companies, and I developed relationships, and I got business coming in the door. Now, in the background, I was developing my online presence, but I didn't rely on my online presence to get my business off the ground. If you do, it's going to take you a long period of time before you see any results. So my strong advice, get into the community. Get known as the credit guy or the credit gal in your community, #1. And if you want to develop an online presence, do that in off hours, right? Do that on the weekends, do that at nights, and pick a niche on the internet and go for it. Learn as much as you can about doing that from experts on YouTube or other places, and learn how to do it well, but be patient with those kinds of results as you're getting results from face-to-face, boots on the ground, networking with people and developing relationships. And here's the last thing I'll tell you for this video. Be consistent in your credit repair career. What do I mean by that? Well, I see a lot of people come in, they're all excited. They spend a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money to build their company from scratch. And by the way, if you want a different alternative than going through all of that, I've got that alternative. I'll put a link in the description for you so you can go and take a look at our credit repair business model. But let's say people come in and they do build the business from scratch. They're all excited and they stay excited for about, I don't know, 3 weeks or a month. And they don't get the results that they're looking for right away. It wasn't as busy. They didn't get as many clients. People were not responding to their Facebook posts or whatever it is that they were doing to generate business. They really didn't spend enough time meeting real estate agents and mortgage brokers, and they get really discouraged. And so then they slow down their efforts in marketing their credit repair business for a period of time. And then they get energized again, and then they come back and they get real excited for again another 3 weeks or a month, and then they take their foot off the pedal. And then they come back and then they take their foot off the pedal. I would rather see somebody, instead of being all in and all out and then all in and all out, be in a consistent amount of time every single day, a consistent amount of time every single week. I've got a saying that I use for my team of agents around the country: 2 people a day brings freedom my way. 2 people a day brings freedom my way. It's not my saying. I learned it from somebody else that taught me that saying, and it stuck with me. And I felt like if all I could do that particular day, because of other things going on, I made 2 contacts. I met a real estate agent or a mortgage broker, or I met somebody that was interested in my services. I met 2 people today that could move my business forward. And I did that each and every day for 30 days. That's 60 people. In a course of a month, you could do a lot of business with those 60 people. Not everybody, but out of those 60 people, there's certainly going to be people that want to refer people to you. There's certainly people that are going to want to utilize your services. So be consistent with your credit repair career. Make sure you don't bite off more than you can chew. Spend as much time as you can, but don't overdo it so you burn yourself out. And again, keep that consistency throughout your career. So that's what I have for you today. Hopefully those things, again, as I said at the top of the video, you don't find them out there on the internet. Those are kind of things that you only learn if you've got experience in the industry. If you liked what you saw, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I come out with a video just about every single week. Things like this kind of insider info that can really help you build your credit repair business. And as I said, if you want to take a look at what I do and maybe have an opportunity to work directly with me, I'm going to put a link to a page on my website where you can watch a 20-minute video on our business model. If it makes sense to you, you can book a phone appointment with me. We can get on, we can answer your questions, talk more about our business model versus what you're considering right now and what you want to accomplish in your credit repair career. And if it makes sense, great. If not, I'm going to wish you the best of luck. So hopefully, again, this video helped you out, and I look forward to being able to bring you more information in the next video. Have yourself a great day. Top